Hi guys, exciting news today. So the Asus ROG Ally X finally launched in South Africa. Today we got our pre-orders, so I'm just going to do an unboxing here for you. A lot of the tedious steps I'm going to fast forward past, just speed it up. So I saw over on Reddit there was a couple of guys that got stuck on a few steps. I thought let me do an unboxing and step you through the initial setup process and typically how long you'd be waiting at each step, and also just the typical setup configurations that I do personally. So obviously this is a Windows device. Okay, so before you power on the device for the first time, obviously you need to plug in the power cable. Just wait for that light to come on. Okay, and now we've got the ROG Ally X, the quick start guide, I presume, and the warranty card. Okay, so now let's power up the device. Just give it a few moments. You can see I sped through the step. Just plugged in a keyboard and mouse just to make the setup more manageable.
Turn on narrator by pressing Windows plus Control plus Enter. For more accessibility features, press Windows plus U or select the accessibility icon in the bottom corner.
Obviously, just select your country. Click Next. Just your keyboard layout. This step I skip past in the video just so you don't see my Wi-Fi settings, but that's just putting in your password and connecting to your local home Wi-Fi network. And then it's going to restart the device. Also one part left of the unboxing. These paper inserts to hold up your ROG Ally X. Okay, just give your device a name. So I'm not very creative when it comes to the naming of my devices. I just called it the ROG Ally X. So now you're just going to put in your email address for your Microsoft account. Two-factor authentication is just going to send it to the Microsoft Authenticator app. This step, you're just going to put your fingerprint on the fingerprint reader, which is basically the power button for the ROG Ally X. Just going to fast forward past this step, speed it up. So obviously hit that like and subscribe button, guys. There's going to be a lot of benchmarks, a lot of gaming videos, just showing you the performance of the ROG Ally X. That's going to be coming up on the channel, of course. Okay, so this step you just set your own PIN to log into the device. In these privacy settings, you can just disable everything if you don't want it to be tracking you. You don't want personalized ads. Okay, so this is the step where you're going to be waiting quite a long time in real life. I've sped this up, I think, 10 times. So it's downloading the latest Windows updates. And then after the download, which is step 1, it's going to go over to step 2, installing those updates that I just downloaded. Okay, on step 3, it's going to reboot. So that reboot step is quite long. Okay, so once you've logged into the device, into Windows, just go on over to the Microsoft Store. I just like clicking update to get all the updates for the apps that come with your device. And also just go on over to the Windows settings and just make sure that you download and install all the latest Windows updates. So I think 80% of them will install then and there, but there's a handful that will require a restart. Another thing I like to do is just change the default theme of Windows to dark theme. This is a Windows handheld device. You're trying to maximize the battery life that you'll be getting, and switching to dark theme, you're going to be extending your battery life just a wee bit more. Okay, so you can see those were the Windows updates that needed a reboot to apply. Okay, let me just speed up through this step. Okay, now after the reboot, it's just going to finish up and do the final updates as part of the Windows updates. It's just confirming you're up to date. Now going over to the My ASUS app, and this will double check that you've got all the latest BIOS and drivers for your ROG Ally X. So I'm just going to download all those BIOS and updates, the driver updates. The app itself updates itself, the My ASUS app. So just let it do its thing. It's going to ask you to reboot. So this is the reboot that is going to take between 30 and 40 minutes. So after that while, 30 to 40 minutes, you're going to be in the BIOS update process. That happens quite quickly. Let me just speed through that. After the reboot, we're back into Windows. Let's just start Armory Crate for the first time. It's just gonna give us a tutorial how to use Armory Crate SE on the ROG Ally. Okay, so this is the step that you're gonna want to install all the game clients. So I'm pretty much gonna install everything that I use. The EA app, because I obviously make use of the EA games that's on Game Pass, and I also play FC24, FIFA. Okay, so it just redirects you to the EA website where you download the client, the installation setup exe. Once that installs Armory Crate, let's go on over to the Ubisoft Connect client and just download the Windows setup executable. Just give it a couple of seconds. Obviously this is going to be dependent on your fiber connection at home, how quickly it downloads. Once that's downloaded, install the Ubisoft Connect client. Okay, open the Ubisoft installation. It'll install. Next up, we're going to do Steam. Okay, Steam's all set up. Now let's do Epic Games Launcher. Obviously, if if you've been playing on PC for a while, you get all those free games as part of Epic Games weekly free games giveaway. So just let that. Okay, next up let's do Battle.net for all the Activision Blizzard games. Obviously after Microsoft bought Activision Blizzard King, a lot of these games get included in Game Pass, so it's worth your while. You're going to get Diablo 4. Next up we've got the Rockstar Games Launcher. It's a bit of a pointless client, but if you're going to be playing GTA 5, Red Dead Redemption 2, you have to install it. Okay, and next up we've got Nvidia's GeForce Now cloud streaming platform that I showcase quite a lot on the channel. Just download that from the website, log in, and then you've got the app installed. Okay, then finally, the last setup I like to do is just go on over to core isolation and disable or turn off memory integrity. You're going to see improved performance in your games. And then also just browse on over to the Windows features where you can turn them on or off. So we're going to turn off the virtual machine platform. Just deselect virtual machine platform. Just give it a couple of seconds to do its thing. Okay, and then it's just telling you that you need to reboot for these changes to take effect.